So, Hari Om all, welcome to another session of Manana on the Bhagavad Gita with Dharma Kshetra. So, we are in the second chapter, third chapter, Karma Yoga. So, what is karma? What is yajna? All these are being elaborated by Bhagavan Krishna in this chapter. We have gone through some 6 verses. We will just recall we did also the 7th verse. However, we'll just recap what we saw in that verse. Very beautiful shlokas. They require manana very often so that we can adopt the all these the wisdom in our lives. Okay. So verse 7 says, यस्विन्द्रियाणि मनसा नियम्यारभतेऽर्जुन कर्मेन्द्रियैर्कर्मयोगम् असक्तस्य विशिष्यते. Basically, what he's saying that in the previous shloka, Bhagavan talked about the mithyachari, the one who pretends to be meditating or to be engaged in service or to be engaged in bhakti and all this. He's a mithyachari. Okay. So most of us would have gone through that mithyachara phase because we are trying to do, we are trying to do. So it's difficult, especially when it comes to mind control, sense control. It's very, very, very hard. So what we decided in the previous verse is how to lock the mind to stay in one place is lock it in desha kala vastu. Mana, vana, kona. That's what Ramakrishna Paramahamsa told us. You lock it in one space. This is the time for me to meditate or do puja or do some sadhana. This is the mantra. This is the Ishta Devata. Just do it. Even if the mind does not cooperate, just sit there during that time and lock yourself and don't get up from your seat and just let the mind go wherever it wants to, but you just sit there. The body is staying there. The japamala or the puja samagri is there. The mind can do what it wants, but I'm here. So that is how one has to train the mind and how to get out of this mithyachara business. Okay, that is what we said. So the next one is the next verse is about the one who is not a mithyachari. Okay, he is the Vishesha Purusha, Vishishyate. He is the fellow who is very sincere. Whoever controls the senses by the mind, O Arjuna, he is not a Mithyachari. He is a Vishesha Purusha. Engages his organs of action in Karma Yoga without attachment, he excels. So, Bhagavan is going on telling us about the Karma Yogi. The non-mithyachari who is making all efforts and he is employing all the resources at his command to engage in karma yoga the way Bhagavan is telling us to. So how do we do this karma yoga when we are engaged in the world? It's very, very, very hard, isn't it? When we are dealing with people, when we are dealing with situations, and most of the time we are firefighting. We are firefighting, isn't it? So where will you bring that? Where will you bring that bhavana that I'm doing karma yoga? So this bhavana has to come before the day begins, before any action. That has to become the basis of all our actions. So before engaging any action, we should have a clear purpose. That today I shall remember Bhagavan before I do any work. We have to make the sankalpa. There is no other choice. Tell the mind again and again and again that everything that I'm doing is karma yoga. And then we have to be then what will disturb this sankalpa? We will make the sankalpa. But something disturbs it. If we am finding the difficulty that, see, morning I woke up and told myself, I will do karma yoga, I'll dedicate all my actions to Bhagavan. And yet, somewhere during the course of the day, I forget. Why do I forget? Because The inputs, the what am I feeding the mind with through the sense organs? The inputs are very, very, very important. The inputs, including the food, including the conversations I have with people, all the activities I engage in, they are all the ones they are. What did Krishna say in the previous chapter? Prasabham harate manaha. They just pull the mind away from the goal. So, this is very important. What I feed myself with the entire day. Because, see, this knowledge is so subtle, 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 subtle. It requires a lot of love and care to protect it, isn't it? It is such precious, it's like a baby, an infant. How do we look after a baby? It's so beautiful. This jnana is so wonderful. It needs that love and care that I show to an infant. I will not feed all sorts of junk to the infant, do I? I know what it can digest, what it can't, how much protection it needs. This jnana is also like that. It has to be protected. Otherwise, easily one can be carried away. And also, my responses to situations. See, these are all the alertness in the vyavahara of every day that we should practice. Alertness in vyavahara. Yes, that is the good way to put it. One has to be very, very alert. Response. Am I snapping? Am I reacting? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, all these are gnawing at me. They're snapping at my feet all the time, isn't it? So that is another thing I have to be very, very alert about the response. And then the best way to be in this, to not to allow the mind to go away is nama japa. Best thing. Mechanically also, one can go on doing it. Nama japa. Even if we have no initiation from any master, never mind. Just say no om, no namaha, nothing. Just say the name of God. Whatever you want, Krishna or Devi or whatever it is, Narayana, anything. So this is what the masters tell us. To make the mind pure, nothing like Nama Japa. That should be the default mode. That should be the Shruti. Always, Sapasa. That is what it should be. The Nama Japa should be the default mode. If somebody wakes me up in the middle of the night, I should hear only that Nama Japa and nothing else. Even when I get up from a nightmare, the Nama Japa should be there. So that is what makes a Vishishyate, a great person. Let my hand do anything, but my mind should be in Bhagwan. Mind, then in that case, the hand will also do karma yoga only. So this is what we saw in the 7th verse. I think we did this also in the previous class. However, now we will go to the next verse, 8. क्या बोलता है next verse? नियतं कुरु कर्म त्वं कर्म ज्यायो ह्यकर्मणः शरीरयात्रापि च ते न प्रसिद्ध्येत कर्मणः नियतं कुरु कर्म त्वं कर्म ज्यायो ह्यकर्मणः शरीरयात्रापि च ते न प्रसिद्ध्येत कर्मणः. So, niyatam kuru karmatva. You perform your duty. Why? Karma jyayo hi akarmanaha. Action is superior to inaction. So, laziness is not at all recommended by Bhagavan at any point of time. Even in the 2nd chapter, he said, karma mate sangosvam akarmani. He said that, no? So, action is superior to inaction. Just to escape the bad effects of your karma, you cannot stop. You should not run away from your duties. See, let us recall the context here. That is what Arjuna is trying to do. This chapter began with that. Why should I do karma? Can't I just take sannyasa and go away? That was his question. So that is why Arjuna, Krishna is addressing in this manner. Action is superior to inaction. Look at all the Akshohini Sainyas who are standing behind you. Most of them don't even know why they are here, Papa, they just come as soldiers. Their Raja said, come, let's go fight, and they have come. Their attitude is much more superior to yours, Arjuna. They are doing action. They are obeying the command of their master. And you have also come here out of your own free will. After years of, peace talks, you have come to this stage. Now don't run away. So inaction is not a choice. The body also cannot be maintained without action. Involuntary actions are happening all the time. What else is there to be said about this? Any thoughts? Niyatam kuru karmani. Perform the actions prescribed, niyatam, prescribed by destiny. That is what Arjuna is being told. So I think this also we saw last week. So one cannot rest. Some of us have the tendency of, that rajas is there. Not everybody can rest. Tamas, of course, is to be condemned completely. So from Tama, you have to go to Rajas. Rajas is much better than Tama. Rajas is, of course, Sattva is, of course, much better than Rajas. But to work with a Sattvic mind and the body is in Rajas, that is the best thing. That is what all the masters have done. Chinmayananda, no? He famously said, if I rest, I rust. If I rest, I rust. Ramana Maharshi said, in this ashram, somebody came, in this Ramana ashram in Tiruvannamalai during his times. Somebody wanted to come and stay there, and because free food, no, in the ashram. So he said, I'm going to put my dera here and I'll stay here for a while. I'll get free food and I'll go. And Ramana told them very clearly, look, even I do some work here. That is why I'm getting food. Ramana is saying that. It is his ashrama. And he is telling them, you cannot just sit here and eat without any inputs. What work does Ramana do? He does a lot of things in the ashram. He does gardening, he goes to the kitchen and helps people with preparing food. And his greatest seva was Darshana. He used to give darshan. Hagalu Ratri, morning, day, night, any time his doors were open, people were free to go and talk to him. So he said, I give darshan, so I am getting some food in the ashram. Like that. No, there are no free meals. Nothing. Isn't it? So this is how one cannot stop doing karma. What are the niyata karmas? I think this also we did last week, but fir bhi. Niyata karma is what? The regular, whatever roles we have, the hats we are wearing. Mother, teacher, singer, dancer, whatever it is, all the roles, they are all the niyata karmas. We have to do. We cannot run away because we have made a choice. We have made a choice and we have gotten into those roles. So these are the karmas that we have to take it. So in the middle of all this, if I feel like taking sannyasa, what should I do? Has someone got that question? What happens then? Like Buddha, in the middle of his Siddhartha, Gautama. He just woke up one fine morning and left. He threw away all his hats and left. How do you justify that, people? Any thoughts? How does it not conflict with this advice that Krishna is giving us? What
He
made
was oriented for enlightenment. He was the choicest individual who was
correct?
oriented towards that.
Correct.
So that's why it all worked that way. And it's all predestined.
Correct.
Bhagwan had designed that he has to, this
Yes.
person. That's why he saw all that despair
Mm.
and came. But
Complete Tyaga.
throwing away their daily, their karmas. I mean, out of laziness and saying nan sannyasa togatini, that is not justified.
Correct. Yes, very correct. So it is said that when you get the call, you will not even look back. You will not even think. You will not even look back. You just go. Like Shankara and all these Mahatmas that we know. Nobody even stops to consider, "Arey, am I doing the right?" The moment I get a doubt, it means you are not cut out for it. That is the metric. That is the metric. If I have a doubt, if I feel guilt, then I am not cut out for sannyasa. Otherwise, nobody, this you better do your niyata karma. That's all. Regarding niyata karma, you may have a doubt, but you have to do it. Because you yourself are to blame. That's all. All the things are my plate, on my plate, I have asked for it. And then niyata karma is all my roles. And then naimitika karma, that is the obligatory duties, um, social obligations, and all the festivals that we do, and ceremonies that we perform, naimitika karma. And for men, all these sandhya, and for all the upasanas, all these are naimitika karma. See, this is coming from a very, very, very Vedic age, isn't it? So all these were very, very strictly followed in those times, in Krishna's times. This was the main thing that people did. They followed all this very strictly. And then prayashchitta karma, that is also prescribed by the scriptures. Corrective measures. What is prayashchitta karma? Corrective measures. When I feel that I have done something wrong, I do prayashchitta karma. When I feel that regret, I do prayashchitta karma. That is also fine. That is we can do even now. Even now. Hare Rama Rama Krishna Krishna. Sorry. Forgive me. It's chanting the name of God. When I feel I have erred somewhere, prayashchitta karma. And then upasana, that is also a karma. What we are doing now, we are all in alignment with Krishna. Physical body and karma. Even for the healthy body, the body has to be maintained. So that is also a karma. Just because we read that the body is mule mamsa, I'm not the body. Nanu nanembudu nanalla, ee deha mana buddhi nanalla. But I better take care of them because they are the instruments. Atmanam rathinam vidhi. What is that beautiful shloka from Chandogya? The body is rathinam. Rathinam is the one riding the body is the jivatma, and the chariot itself is the body. Better take care of it. Okay. Yes. How to express, and the main thing, this whole chapter is about yajna. Each and every action of mine should reflect that yajna bhava. So again, the Vedic, they have given us prescription. What all the yajnas should we perform? We know that. Pancha yajnas are there. And we do that. Deva yajna, Pitru yajna, Manusha yajna, Bhuta yajna, Jnana yajna, all that we do with bhakti, with shraddha, with vinamrata, with kritagnata, everything that would tyaga. What is this tyaga? The tyaga is a very scary word. What do I have to sacrifice? Yes, what do I have to sacrifice, people? When I'm doing all these things in my daily life, what do I have to sacrifice? This tyaga is a recurring theme in the Gita. What should I sacrifice?
Ego?
How do we sacrifice? How does that reflect in my action, Shweta? Okay, I have to renounce the ego, but how do I catch hold of it? How does it manifest? Ego.
Well, sometimes what happens is when you have the doership, right? Oh, I'm doing this yagna. Oh, I have all these resources to perform this yagna, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to get this blessing, and I will start. Instead of saying that, this yagna should help me
Hmm.
give up the doership. So that way, I'm doing this in the name of Krishna. Sorry, I just joined
No, no,
and I
that's fine.
just
That's
talked.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yes, this
Yeah.
is the general instruction. But
I see.
practical instruction is what? Give up the ego. It's a very nice statement. But how do I give up, Andre? In my everyday acts, where is my
Oh,
ego sitting, ma?
expectation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ego is because of expectation. The minute I say this yagna should bring me this is what I'm going to ask for, and this is the fruits I want.
Hmm.
That's how you. I mean, before you go to the yagna, if
No,
you're
no,
asking
forget about, let us not use the big words, yagna and all that. When you're cooking for the family, what is your
Ah.
attitude?
My attitude is may this food give them and nourish them, and I'm cooking this for Krishna.
Ah, exactly. That is the attitude which we should carry through the day for everything. May this action of mine help others, not me. That is fine. That will come, apne aap, it will come. When my attitude is selfless, then all the things that I am supposed to get will come on its own. That is the tyaga. That is the sacrifice I have to do. Sacrifice my own expectations for reward, for appreciation, for all sorts of things. I renounce the. That is the same thing that karmanyevadikara. That is tyaga. Ashte. That is tyaga.
It is like Sangam Tyaktva, without
Ah,
expectation of any return.
Sangam tyaktva. Correct.
Yeah.
Sangam tyaktva. Do not be attached. And always let it be, even one step I take, that is a bit too much. We are not saints, but let my each and every action of mine be for Loka Kalyana. My Loka is my people. Loka means you don't have to worry about the entire world. Just the people who are with me and in my sphere of influence, that is enough. If they are benefited by my presence, by my actions, that is the greatest yagna I can do in my limited capacity, and not carrying anything with me, expecting anything from them. It is the greatest sacrifice I can do. Ashte. And prasada buddhi. No grumbling. No grumbling. The moment I am into this class, I give up the right to grumble. Why? Why? Why I have no right to grumble? Grumbling shows what?
Because you're being Krishna
Expectations
fight.
again.
Oh,
Huh?
sorry.
Helo, Shweta and then Sneha.
Grumbling.
Oh, I think somebody was talking. I think Sneha was talking. Please go ahead.
No worries. Okay, all right. So grumbling is again not getting what you expect. So it's expecting. So we have no right to grumble.
Non-acceptance. Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Non.
And
Hmm.
all I said was because we've been Krishna fight. So,
We have been Krishna-fied, so we cannot grumble.
yep.
What is the understanding behind that I should not grumble? Yes, I should not expect. That is one thing. That is so much of a load on me, Alva. I should not grumble. I should not grumble. But it should be backed with jnana. Then it will become easier, isn't it, Sneha?
Correct.
Hmm.
We have, I mean, in reality, there is no control. I mean, we have no control over anything
Ade.
except our own current action.
Hmm.
Ashte. So we have no right to expect, Allah. I mean, I feel that is the basis
Basis.
that,
Correct.
yeah, we have no control over the future. Again,
Hmm.
karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana.
Yes.
Even the littlest things.
Littlest things is only see the yes. We have to remember that
Like,
everything is Ishvara.
huh,
Ishvara Srushti. Yo
right.
Ishvara Srushti. What are we doing in this Ishvara Srushti? I'm bringing my Jiva Srushti there. Jiva Srushti is like and dislike. The lion eats the deer. It is Ishvara Srushti. There is some fear in the deer, there is hunger in the lion. It's all Ishvara Srushti. Is there any judgment over there? There is
Right.
no judgment at all. Whereas for me, everything is to be, that judgment should be there as a viveka, it should be there in me, but not to judge people. I will avoid the lion like Hiranyakashipu. I will not go near him. But it should stop at that. Ashte. That is going on, cursing people, cursing situations. See, this is very difficult to practice actually, because this muscle we have developed over lifetimes, no, disliking, likes and dislike. This is very, very, very strong in us. So what do we do about
But
that?
we can constantly, we can constantly watch it.
Ashte.
As we observe our thoughts, our words, our actions, like you said, our little responses in our daily activities, everything we can watch,
We should
and
watch.
we can introspect, reflect.
Yes, that's what we have to do. Correct. That's it. So Patanjali says this constant engagement with the world and looking at it through the lens of my raga dvesha is a klesha, is a dosha in me, in the jiva. That's the dosha. That will take me away from Ishvara. So all these are lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Otherwise, if I don't have this attitude, karma will become bandhana. It will become a bandhana. So come again, go again. Ashte. In fact, the name of Vishnu is Yagna. In the Vishnu Sahasranama, how many names are there starting with Yagna for Vishnu? So remember to do, when I'm doing karma slash yagna, karma yoga slash yagna, same thing. Actually, Vishnu is acting. No, what is that line? Anybody can recall? Ramaji, Purnima, if she is there. Yargappa, yagna, 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 yagna. So many yagnas will come in the Vishnu Sahasranama. So Vishnu is yagna only. Yagna and dharma are synonyms. Yagna, karma, dharma are all synonyms. So in all my actions, let Bhagavan be pleased. When I do that, it becomes an aradhana. Otherwise, if that attitude is not there, I think this had come up earlier also. There are some NGOs, some very, very, very selfless people who are doing good work, but they don't have this aradhana business. The aradhana attitude is not there. What happens for them? That karma is also binding. They'll get good punya karma only, but it binds. Golden shackle instead of iron shackles. They are also binding only. That's fine. At one level, we are very happy with the golden shackle, which is why we have come to this stage. Lot of punya karma we have done, and now we are listening to the next stage. And what is the result of this kind of yajna that we do? That is sacrifice. You give up expectations. What is the one great, huge transformation that will come over me? Anyone? Of course, peace of mind. Yes, Sneha, hela.
Closer to, the realization of the self. We are one step closer, right? Karma yoga is one of the ways of, spiritually leading to the consciousness.
ಹೌದು ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಎವ್ರಿಡೇ ಲೈಫ್ ನನಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಸಿಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ
ಬ್ಲಿಸ್, ಆನಂದ.
ಆನಂದ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಏನಮ್ಮ ಶ್ವೇತಾ?
ದುಃಖ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. So I was just going to say,
ದುಃಖ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಕ್ಲೇಶ ಇರಲ್ಲ. Shweta also said something.
I was about to say, you'll just become a better version, right? You're more at centered peace. Your mood swing is not extreme.
Yes.
It becomes more like not a straight line, but still, right? It's not like extreme high or lows.
Correct.
You just can get a little bit more centered and calmer, I think.
More centered,
and toleration, threshold will.
Tolerance. Yeah, titiksha.
Yeah, toleration threshold actually gets better. Yeah,
Correct.
titiksha.
Yes. In Sneha?
Sorry, I'm done.
Sorry, Shweta. I mean, you create, and I've observed in people who engage in little selfless services, they believe in that, who constantly carry that with them, Allah.
Hmm.
So they create an air, a very appealing air around them, an attractive air around them.
Yes.
People are always in awe about them. They like them. They like that company.
Yes.
So it attracts
Straight away
not
they
just
elevate the
yeah,
yes.
it can not just adults, even children are drawn to such people. I've observed
Correct.
animals also. Those who show that affection, that love.
Yes.
Uh,
Kandita.
I know.
Correct. So you're automatically elevating the atmosphere also around you.
Exactly.
What I was,
Yes.
yeah, yes. And the most, the immediate, what I can observe is fearlessness. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ, a degree of fearlessness comes about, no, in life, because absolutely
Mhm.
no, some expectations have gone down drastically. So you don't fear. When you Ishvarize the entire universe, when you Ishvarize everything, this is Ishvara, that is Ishvara anta ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ, that fearlessness is something which is very, very precious. Otherwise, living in fear is a curse. Fear of the present, the future, the anxieties. What will happen to my people? It's very, very harmful to my psyche, that fear. So this is a very beautiful example that I came across. So when Gandhiji went to Afghanistan, as usual, we know how Gandhi used to go around in his loincloth, one Anga Vastra and one Danda, Ashte. So in front of him were all these huge Pathans carrying guns, looking very krura, with all their beards and awful people. And Gandhiji went to Afghanistan and he looked at these Pathans and he asked them, "Why are you all afraid? You are carrying guns. Are you all afraid? Why are you carrying guns? Why are you carrying weapons? Who carries a weapon? The one who is scared." In this context. So, just that one word of Gandhi, there was one Pathan who it struck. Why am I carrying a weapon? What am I afraid of? So that was Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan. You know who was? He became a frontier Gandhi. You remember his name? So he put down his weapon that day and he never again carried it. So, like Sneha said, that power that one carries, if you are living the truth is bound to hit the right target. The target who is ready. Sneha, you wanted to say something? Why are you okay?
Ila, sorry, I unmuted by mistake. Sorry.
Oh, okay, fine. So like that, it is very, very, it is powerful. Somebody or other is going to be influenced with my fearlessness. It is going to affect people also. All right. And another thing is individual sankalpas iratala, sankalpa. That will you don't you when you have this Ishwararpana buddhi, prasada buddhi, God will take care of me. All these sankalpas also will come down a little. Sankalpas like all these harake we call in Kannada. ಇದಾದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. That's like yeah, those that kind of attitude will also come down, and it's such a burdensome thing, no, when you have a harake, when you say I will go to Tirupati, I will walk up the steps and look at God and take darshan of God if this sankalpa of mine is fulfilled. All that is seems very childish when we have come to this path. Okay. All right, let's go to the next verse. 9 ಏನಿತ್ತು 9 this is a very, very important verse. People, everyone can chant. Yajnartham karmanonyartha lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangas samachara We have discussed this already. We will chant this. People, please unmute and chant. Very beautiful verse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्मबन्धनः तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्तसङ्गः समाचर
यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्म बन्धनः तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्तः सङ्गः समाचर.
यज्ञ
Yes, Purnima.
यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्मबन्धनः तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्तः सङ्गः समाचर.
यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्मबन्धनः तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्तसङ्गः समाचर.
Shweta, Samata, Jayashri.
I'll try. Sorry. Yagnartha karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhana.
Tadartham karma kaunteya.
Tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara.
Yes. Very beautiful shloka.
Thank you.
Jayashri. Inyaru. Helama. Are you muted? Hogli bidu. Okay. So beautiful. Look at the words. Yajnarthat karmanaha. Every work, every action of mine should be a yajna. Anyatha, what will happen? Lokaha ayam karma bandhanaha. So it will bind me. All my karmas are going to bind me otherwise. Tadartham karma kaunteya. So do all your work in the spirit of yajna. Mukta sangha samachara. That is the fearlessness that we talked about. Isn't it? Mukta sangha. You are free from all attachment and fear. Attachment means fear. The moment I'm attached to something, I'm fearful for the safety of that thing, person, place, everything, money, wealth, everything. I'll be very fearful. The moment I have no attachment, mukta sangaha, samachara. So beautiful, no? To roam around, samachara. You just go around in the world, free of all these kleshas. Very beautiful verse. Okay. We should remember that. See, every verse we should start with Bhagavan Uvacha. Isn't it? To remind ourselves that Bhagavan is speaking. Bhagavan is telling all that. Am I being audible? Or
Yes, you are.
Yes, yes.
connection is gone or something?
You're all just quiet.
Okay.
On.
Because this page is not loaded. There it is. 10. Saha yajñah praja sruštva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvamesha vyo ostva. Who can help me with this? Kamadhuk, that much I can, I can. Kamadhuk is there. Ostvish, vistak. Okay, that's a tongue twister over there. Saha yajñaha prajaha sruštva purovachaha prajapatihi. So in the beginning, what happened? We have that beautiful metaphor of Brahmaji arising from Narayana's Nabhi. So that is when all this drama began. Narayana he's in Yoga Nidra. And in his Nidra, what happened? all this beautiful universe is created. By whom? By Brahmaji. So the first one who came in the consciousness of Narayana is this Brahmaji. And what happened when Brahmaji came? What was the first question he asked himself? Brahmaji, suddenly, he is coming out from the consciousness of Mahavishnu, and he opens his eyes and he sees this Sagara, Milky Ocean. And apparently the first question he asked himself is, who am I? When we wake up also from the sleep, if there is ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ amnesia ತರ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ, who am I, what am I, where am I? All these questions, existential questions we ask. So same thing happened with Prajapati, Brahmaji. And then what did Narayana tell him? He said, Narayana told him, do sacrifice. What should I do? You do sacrifice, you do yajna. That was the instruction given by Narayana to Brahmaji. That is how this entire universe is a yajna. It is a yajna. It was, it is, and it will be a yajna because the whole purpose was yajna. And when that purpose of yajna is fulfilled, what will happen? All my desired objects, everything will be fulfilled. Kama dhuk, kama dhenu. See, it's a very powerful weapon in my hands. Actually, the karma that I have been given is a huge, powerful weapon. For what? For fulfilling my desires without my sankalpa. The entire universe will provide it for me. It's a very beautiful, we have to really internalize this shloka. Anena prasavisyad. I'm sorry, I'm not able to chant this properly. Prasavishvadhamesha Eshavostvishta kamadhuka. Ishta kamadhuka. Everything. When I do things with the yajna bhava, it is a kamadhuk. That same yajna will give me all the desires. Desire is not the right thing. Whatever is required for that yajna will appear on its own. Like how, any examples can we think of all from our Puranas, how this yajna bhava produced things. Out of its, the whole devatas, everyone will cooperate. I can think of Rama building the Setu, or looking for Sita. Who helped him in his journey of looking for Sita? Let us recall who all helped Sri Rama in this, in that yajna of his. Who all helped? Were there any people over there with laptops? It was the forest, it was the trees, the plants, the monkeys, the squirrels, the jambavan, the bear, nature. Nature helped him, isn't it, Shweta?
I was just going to say Jatayu, but yeah. No.
Name all these creatures who helped him. Isn't it fantastic? It is a fairy tale. How will a Jatayu, how will an eagle come and help me? Why will a squirrel come and help me, man? Really, just think of it. A bear, a monkey, and Sainya of monkeys. And Varuna Devata himself, the water god himself, he says, okay, I will not let your rocks sink. Imagine that. That was a yajna. When we listen to these stories, our whole mind and body should be suffused with that spirit of yajna that was going on over there. Whole nature is helping me. The trees and plants and all, they shed tears because Sita Mata was abducted. See how the universe come to help us when that yajna is there. Because Rama was, of course, you can say, oh, he was a Narayana, he was a Jivan Mukta and all that. But that is the goal. That's the goal. He is the example. He's giving us the highest standard. Okay, this is how you need to act. Another thing, we have to, what leaps out at us, with this example of Rama looking for Sita. Yajna, of course, everyone is helping us, number one. Number two, He is Narayana and he is in Nara form and he is also a Jivan Mukta. That is what Vasishta addresses him as a Jivan Mukta in the Yoga Vasishta. All that is there. Yet, what leaps out with this example? Is that even for a Narayana, even for this avatara, this life is going to give trouble only. Life means problems. You have to tackle it. Go at it with hammer and tongs and deal with it. Even Rama, Krishna, nobody could escape this karma, prarabdha. The moment I have a body means shariratraya, the body mind complex. Prarabdha is coming. See, this Tulsidas has got a beautiful abhang, it's called, right? He says, prarabdha pehle racha, piche racha sharir. So even when our Narayana is, being born, along with him, he is coming with prarabdha. Because he is coming with a sankalpa for loka kalyana. Therefore, that prarabdha is very much there for even for God. So prarabdha pehle racha, piche racha sharir, tulsi kya kare, bhaje Raghuveer, something like that. I say, Tulsidas says, let the prarabdha take its course. I will just chant Ramanama. Like that. So, that karma is always there. Something or other is appearing on my plate. But if I do things with Yajna Bhava, the entire universe will cooperate, will help me undertake that Yajna. That is the thing. So I believe in the Vedic times, there were no other little gods that we worship now, like Ganesha or Lakshmi, Durga. All those gods were not there. For them, the elements were the devas. Wind, water, fire, earth. All these were the devas for the tribals. Or even in the Vedic times, even the city folk. They worshipped the earth they walked on. See, we have the shlokas also. Before I place my feet on earth, when I wake up, I have to remember it is Bhumi Mata, Bhumi Devi. I am stepping on her. That kind of reverence has to come with all when I'm drinking water. This is Varuna Devata. That kind of reverence has to come in all my actions. That is the worship I can do. The elements are Bhagwan. There were no temples in Vedic times. This was the Yajna Bhava was their main thing. The tribals apparently, they worship even disease as the divine mother. If everything is Ishvara, why should we exclude disease and hardship as a divine mother? Divine mother means what? Shakti, Prakriti. Isn't it? She is acting through all the names and forms. The coronavirus, it is a name and form for the divine mother herself, itself. So, some Mahatmas, they have commented, the language that we used when this COVID thing was going on, we were saying, we will conquer the virus. So that's a very aggressive language which is not done. When I look at everything as mother, what is there to conquer? You have to worship her. Imagine worshipping a disease because some bacteria, some virus, something is acting inside, and that is the mother, divine mother. Can we do that? Worship the terrible. To transcend the terrible, we have to worship the terrible. See, that we can actually adopt as a sadhana from today, if we have not done it already. Anything that scares me, I start worshipping as the mother. Helplessly, I worship. If I get a headache, I cold, if my children, somebody, anyone, whatever it is, instead of looking at it as something to be gotten rid of, I can request very, very with humbly. I don't even have to request. I just look at it with bhakti. Shweta, what?
So just a thought just popped in my head when you were saying this, Purnimaji. So when at least when I was younger, you used to get what is it, chicken pox, right? Like the one of the poxes and everything. I remember after a few days, I can't remember the exact time. That you give the neem leaf bath, everything. Then you go to Mariamma temple,
Haudu.
right?
Haudu. Yes.
So I think the tradition did exist, but you're right. We forgot the tradition. We only did it for poxes and stuff because those were the diseases, childhood diseases those days.
Scary ones.
Uh, Scary ones too, right? Yeah, you're right. Very scary ones. But you're right. I don't know. The thought did pop up that I kind of remember
Right.
we used to
Even
go.
now in these little villages or little 20 kilometers from Bangalore, you will have these little villages where they have a village deity, Amma.
Deity, correct. Howದು.
Big Amma will be there. So many Ammas are there, one for each disease. They go and pray. Ashte. So, such innocence, no? They understand much better than us, yeah. I mean, it is God only. It is the Divine Mother who has come. So, everything at the altar of the Divine Mother. Isn't it so beautiful? We should also develop that muscle more and more. Toothache.
Sorry for intervening. There's actually one plague Amma Devasthana, Tyagaraja Nagarali.
Plague Amma. That terrible plague wiped out population, like how COVID also did. How do Amma? Actually, during this COVID, I think many people saw the upside of it also, Alva. How it
Yes.
was disciplining us and all that. Of course, people dying and it was all very terrible, no doubt, not to make light of the suffering that people went through. But
It modernized the universe more where this class Bhagavad Gita class was totally not accessible to a lot of people. Purnimaji, the whole Zoom event and everything online shifting, how we figured it out. I mean, it was amazing. And that is when my kids were literally 5-year-old boys, 5-year-old boys. They're trying to do kindergarten from our house. We had to evolve, right? Your working parents, how
yes,
do you attend to your kids who've never been to school, right? Kindergarten is where they start. They go to preschool here, but
yes,
that's the first year of regular school is starting in kindergarten here at 5.
we were all
And
locked down. Yeah.
we're locked down, but we all figured it out. Everything became education became online. Now we have snow days, things are online. Quickly everybody pivots. We had snow day earlier.
Yes.
Things come online now, so which is so much easier. I think we did evolve eons ahead, but the sad part, or I don't know if it is sad anymore, coming to this class, it did wipe out a population quite a bit. Lot of souls were liberated. How about that?
So when you feel sad,
Which
they
is
say that's prarabdha, acting. That's all.
yes, that's what I'm saying, right?
जितना भी
So
यहाँ बदनाम हुई. I always remembered that song. You know. Yeah, even see, all the gods are, nobody is exempt from this prarabdhas. And what to say of that mere mortals?
correct.
So when to deal with that terrible prarabdha, we have to do this. This is what gives us strength, isn't it? So yeah, plague amma, jwara amma, all these ammas are there. So that's what when I read this shloka and I was doing some manana on this, I kind of told myself, henceforth anything negative in my mind, negative. There is no negative in Ishvara Shushti. Everything is just is. See, that's another thing that we have to internalize. There is no negative, positive. Everything is just is. It is it. It is like that. Ashte. Now, evil person is an evil person. Ashte. That is what it is. Ishvara Shushti. He is made like that. Because it's Prakriti. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas is Prakriti. So, toothache, Amma. Divine Mother is doing something. Actually, this happened to me from 1 week. My jaw is aching very badly. So I was reading this and said, okay, Baba, this is Divine Mother. Some bacteria, some virus, some infection, something is happening. Her thing is going on. So that bhava itself, thoda distance will come from that pain. You can create a distance so that we can develop these muscles. yagna muscles. And in the tribal times, or in earlier time, they used to they would not spit in the river also. How they? Because spitting in the river, this is God. You should not spit. So they would tell, these masters would tell the disciples when they used to go for bhiksha to various villages, when they used to cross villages and go, they say, don't step into a river in which people spit in it. That kind of purity they had. Yajna Bhava. Let us see how much we can adopt. Bhumi Mata, Akasha is Pita. All these feelings we have to strengthen every minute. Then our life will become an Aradhana. Cooking, see, all of us here, we have a common activity. Cooking can become an Aradhana. Many people have the puja room in the kitchen. Fantastic. Reminds at every minute that we are doing worship. Agni, some people do namaskara to the gas stove when the Agni is lit. Very, very, very beautiful practices. We should carry on all these things and make them more, so that it is a Aradhana. In traditional Kerala families, they would even perform Grama Puja in the kitchen. Ante. Grama Puja with Grama Devata. That of course their houses were in the olden days very large places. They do puja in the kitchen only. Very beautiful. That kitchen is the greatest yagna that we do every day, isn't it? Cooking. So it's very, very important. Yes, Sneha wanted to share something.
I'm more and more, trying to make sense of our traditional practices.
Houdu.
Thanks to Dharma Kshetra and whatever little manana I'm able to do. We can, there's a correlation.
ಹೌದು
ನಮ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಾನೆ
ಹೌದಪ್ಪ
I mean, we just have to follow it. Sometimes blindly also is still okay.
also like how we do
Alva?
japa without concentration, that's fine. Mechanically also, if we do, like how we wash dishes mechanically, they get cleaned. Like that, the manas also will get cleaned, even if we practice things mechanically also. All the right practice.
Yeah, our grandmothers, great grandmothers, ಅವರೆಲ್ಲನೂ mothers also. I mean, they don't without questioning ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು ನೋಡಿ.
ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ಹುಟ್ಟು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. We are listening to the greater and higher truths. We can transcend everything now.
There was a phase when we used to question. I think the times when I was small, ಅದೆಲ್ಲಾನು ಒಂದು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನಿಂಗ್ ಫೇಸ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲಾನು.
ಬರ್ಲೂಬೇಕು. Now the ego matures ಅಲ್ವಮ್ಮ.
Now that I think after COVID, the general tendency is to some sort of divine intervention ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು it has just come generally.
Correct, right. So the ego, for all of us, we have been trained, like what recently our Prime Minister is saying, the Macaulay education. It's trained for Vyavahara only. All our egos are trained for Vyavahara, which is fine. That's what a child needs. But then now the ego has to be polished and refined, which is what we are all doing right now. Without that basic understanding, also one can live. Without this, because we are in this situation, we are thrown into the world, which is like this, so and so and so. So we need those skills to survive in this world, which is what that education has given us. Now we need this Bhagavad Gita education for our own survival and blooming. Good, nice. So, prayer. Om asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityormam amritangamaya. Om shanti shanti shantihi. ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದಾತ್ಮ शिवनानुनाने शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्